The top diplomats of Japan and the United States have affirmed their countries will strengthen ties to realize a free and open Indo-Pacific. They'll also work together to deal with China, North Korea, and other challenges. The two met ahead of the Group of Seven foreign ministers meeting scheduled to start in London on Monday. Japan's Foreign Minister Motegi Toshimitsu and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken agreed to oppose any unilateral moves to change the status quo in the East and South China Seas. They agreed on the importance of peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. They affirmed the need to establish robust supply chains among countries that share common values in light of China's economic rise. Blinken shared details of a U.S. policy review toward North Korea recently completed by the Biden administration. The G7 foreign ministers' talks will be their first face-to-face meeting in about 2 years. They're expected to discuss the coronavirus pandemic, climate change, and other urgent global challenges. Attention is also focused on what message they'll have on human rights in Hong Kong and the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, as well as tensions in Myanmar. A senior White House official has said in a TV interview the administration of U.S. President Joe Biden wants to engage in diplomacy with North Korea to achieve the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
Our policy towards North Korea is not aimed at hostility, it's aimed at solutions. It's aimed at ultimately achieving the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. And we're prepared to engage in diplomacy towards that ultimate objective.
Sullivan said Washington believes a more calibrated and measured approach stands the best chance of real progress in reducing the challenge posed by the North. Last week, President Biden said in his address to Congress, nuclear programs in North Korea pose a serious threat to American and global security. Pyongyang reacted angrily to Biden's comments. It said on Sunday Biden had made a big blunder and warned the United States would find itself in a very serious situation. Tokyo, Osaka, and 2 other prefectures in Japan remain under a third state of emergency amid the coronavirus pandemic. The number of patients with serious symptoms across the country stands at 1,084, renewing the record set on Sunday. The medical system is under great strain. The Western Prefecture of Osaka has the largest number of new cases. Officials confirmed 847 on Monday.
I ask everyone to please refrain from going out during the week-long holiday period or from coming into close contact with people outside.
The Osaka governor said he would decide whether to ask the central government to extend the state of emergency later this week based on the infection numbers. The current state of emergency is due to expire on May 11th. Hospital beds for seriously ill patients were at more than 98% capacity as of Saturday in Osaka. Nursing care facilities are also being affected. 5 people at this facility have become infected. One of them is still unable to get a hospital bed. Staff at the facility are caring for the person in full protective gear.
If the situation continues, some employees may leave their jobs because of worries, and we won't be able to care for residents. The situation for nursing care facilities could become very tight.
The government is pushing ahead with vaccinations. It plans to set up 2 large sites run by the self-defense forces. The State Minister of Defense visited one site in Osaka on Monday. He said the goal is to open it on May 24th, the same date as the one in Tokyo. Across the nation, more than 4,400 new cases were reported on Monday. 49 people have died. Monday marks the anniversary of Japan's constitution coming into effect 74 years ago. To mark the occasion, some people around the country have been calling for the constitution to be amended, while others favor keeping it in its present form. One group seeking to amend it live-streamed an online forum. Prime Minister Suga Yoshihide delivered a video message.
More than 70 years have passed since the current constitution was enacted. Revisions should be made to parts that do not match the times or that lack something necessary. As a first step to advancing discussions to amend the Constitution, We should aim to pass a revised law on national referendums.
The main ruling Liberal Democratic Party is drawing up draft revisions consisting of 4 points. They include formally recognizing the existence of the self-defense forces. Suga said both the ruling and opposition parties should hold constructive discussions to deepen the public's understanding. Now, a group of citizens who want to keep the Constitution as it is also held an online forum. The leader of the opposition Constitutional Democratic Party delivered a video message. Edano Yukio said people should think about the importance of Article 25 on Constitution Day. It stipulates all people have the right to minimum standards of cultured and wholesome living. Edano said this right has been undermined by the pandemic.
The government has to work to promote and extend social welfare and public health. But Japan's politics today have failed to fulfill this obligation. I'm resolute that restoring politics built on Article 25 is a major role my party should play amid the coronavirus crisis.
Deliberations on revising the law on national referendums are underway in the Diet's lower house commission on the Constitution. Staying here in Japan, people in Shizuoka Prefecture are cleaning up the debris after fearsome winds upended their lives. Weather officials say they were likely hit by a tornado. The powerful gusts struck the area west of Tokyo on Saturday evening, leaving 3 people injured. Nearly 70 buildings were damaged. In Makinohara City, neighbors helped a 75-year-old woman on Monday clean up broken glass scattered around her home. More than half of her roof was torn away.
The inside of the house is so badly damaged that it's impossible to live there. Every time I've seen a disaster, I felt sorry for the victims. I never imagined such a thing would happen to me.
Residents are rushing to carry out repairs. Starting from morning, people brought broken roof tiles and other debris to 4 temporary dump sites set up by the city. In other news, hot air balloons are floating over central Japan. The event was canceled last year due to the pandemic. This year, people can watch, but from a distance. 33 teams from across the nation gathered in Nagano Prefecture for the annual Saku Balloon Festival. They took off one after another and floated along the Chikuma River. Organizers hope the sight of colorful balloons in the sky will cheer people up during the pandemic.
I think people feel a sense of hopelessness after staying at home for so long. I want them to look up and feel happy.
The organizers are also sharing videos of the competition on social media. The event runs through Wednesday. And those were the headlines we're following.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken meets with the foreign ministers of Japan and South Korea Monday ahead of a meeting of the Group of 7 major economies. Apple defends itself in federal court against charges that it treats small companies unfairly on its App Store. German police say they have arrested 4 people in connection to one of the world's largest websites of illegal sexual images of children. And in South Africa, wildlife officials fear an increase in the illegal killing of rhinos as coronavirus restrictions decrease.
Millions of children in France have gone back to school as a number of European countries ease their coronavirus lockdowns. The European Commission has also recommended easing restrictions on non-essential travel to the EU. The US Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, has described America's relationship with the UK as vital in addressing the most urgent global issues. The pair will attend the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting in London. Special trains are taking oxygen to the Indian capital as the country's Supreme Court steps in to order that supplies reach hospitals by the end of Monday. COVID cases have topped 300,000 for the 12th day in a row. And police in Germany say they've shut down one of the world's largest networks for sharing images of child abuse on the dark net. 4 German men were arrested in an international operation.